Well, first, how is the exposition bad? Well, you're looking at the script introducing Jaime and Cersei, just reading on all these pages that it never says that Cersei is his sister. It says that in the set directions, in the descriptions, but not in dialogue. And just reading through it, you realize they never noticed this. That just sight reading it, you can tell you don't explain their relationships to each other. And it's quite a thing to see that, not just be told that. There were a couple of other weird exposition scenes that... the opening scene of the show was originally going to be actually seeing Jon Arryn dying. And they've said this already in Blu-ray commentaries. But the way the script plays out, it's so needlessly drawn out, and this is the beginning of the episode. This is confusing. They don't know who these people are, and it's just dragging it out. That you would see him poisoned, staggering to his writing desk and struggling to try and write a letter of warning, but then succumbs to the poison and dies while Cersei is watching from the doorway, and later she talks to Pycelle about, did he say anything? No. And it's just, this is out of order. No one knows who these people are. You're not really conveying information. But it's the detail that went into describing, and he staggers from the doorway, and then he goes to his desk, and just, this would have eaten up a good 2 minutes. And it's not informing us of anything. And if you've wondered, we knew this for a while because they talked about it in commentaries, that they didn't just cast like a stunt double to play Jon Arryn's corpse in the Winter is Coming. That when they thought he'd have a role to play and show him in flashbacks, they cast a veteran actor to do that, John Standing. But because all of his scenes were cut from the final version of Winter is Coming, in that you just see him playing Jon Arryn's corpse in the Red Keep while Cersei and Jaime talk about it. And it was always weird that, why is there a major actor credited with a dead guy? Are you going to use them in flashbacks that originally they were? And it's just terrible that these people don't know how to do that. The next big one, which it's not, it sounds weird when I'm saying it, but it ate up a lot of time when you actually read through how much thought went into it. How much it fixated on that feather that Robert left at Lyanna's tomb. If you ever read the books, that isn't from the books at all. They invented that. It's this idea, they explain this in commentary, that, oh, well, when Robert was courting Lyanna, he gave her a gift of an exotic bird from the south, and she really liked it because they don't have them in the north. So when he goes to her tomb, he leaves her one as a feather from one as a memento, which is fine. That's a little character beat. This isn't the first time this has happened, where we think, oh, that's a little character beat, that's okay. And then in the commentary, they're ranting and raving as if they came up with the Red Wedding. That this isn't that big of an idea. Why are you so obsessed with this? Well, I thought it was a nice little nod there. But in the pilot version, and this is difficult to describe, you have to read the thing, it would have sunk about 2 minutes, it seems, into the camera following Cersei into the tombs after they leave, then following her through the courtyard, then through an antechamber, then talking to her handmaidens, and then whipping the feather out from her sleeve and going, by the way, burn this. And you wouldn't even see that she had the feather until the end of it, and there's no dialogue. Up until the end when she goes, burn this. And it's, how much screen time is being wasted on this setup, and what is the payoff? It's bizarre that they kept thinking this was this huge payoff to this feather. It is difficult to read through. And just, we only see what's filtered down from, edited down from the grand ideas they have on set, that this feather was going to be a giant motif for them of Lyanna. And talking about, like in season 5, Sansa finds it when she visits Lyanna's tomb, and just says, oh, why is there a feather here? And you or I would go, oh, that's a nice little nod back to season 1, because they went, well, logically no one else has been down there, it would stay there, it's not like it's going to get rained on or wind or something. But then when you're looking at the commentary and behind-the-scenes video for that episode, they are ranting and raving about how significant this is. Oh, look, she found the feather, aren't we brilliant? And this doesn't have that much value. It's a little nod back. Why are you acting like this is some giant achievement? And, it's gotten ridiculous. You guys have seen the season 7 trailers. Please talk about this in the comments, where they're reminding us of this by just having the actors with no dialogue walking around in Lyanna's tomb and seeing that feather on the floor in like the first teaser trailer they put out. And it's, how significant is it? You're seeing news sites making theory articles on this. And it's just a stupid visual motif they thought up. And they think it's brilliant because it was their idea, not Martin's. This is something we did. Look how clever we are. In the books, and back me up on this in the comments, guys, Lyanna's symbol she's associated with are blue winter roses. They were in the victor's crown that Rhaegar gave to her at Harrenhal. Just, Jon Snow has dreams about blue roses in the books. This is a thing, and it could have been anything. It's just, why did you reinvent the wheel? Why not just have Robert bring her like a blue rose? Because they were one of her favorite flowers. Why is there so much time and effort going into this feather? And then read the description they give in the Huffington Post thing of just how much time was following Cersei as she goes down to destroy this feather, which is time that could have been on dialogue saying, by the way, Jaime is my brother. Speaking of Jaime, that's the other side of this, where when they tried to give exposition, it sounds like an info dump, that the scene at the Winterfell feast where Jaime bumps into Ned was originally much longer. And it's just, the dialogue is clunky, it's back and forth. It's similar to the dialogue they have when they later meet again at the Red Keep in the middle of season 1, talking about, well, my father and brother were burned alive, and Jaime saying I couldn't do anything to help them, but I could avenge them by killing the Mad King. It's just, the idea that they would say something is good, but it's this thing of Jaime's being sarcastic of, oh, the worst king in history, and you're mad that I killed him, that you're spelling out what you're thinking, that this is... It reads like an info dump. Check out what they said. Just it doesn't seem right. They must have thought the same thing because they themselves moved it to a later episode. But the weird thing on top of that, stemming from that, I'm pretty sure that in the middle of that scene is when we would have gotten this flashback. That originally, in the pilot, there was going to be a flashback to the Mad King executing Ned's father and brother. He burned his father, Rickard, alive, while he set up that his brother would be strangled trying to save his father. And we know that flashback was actually filmed. Just, we've known this in season 1, that the first teaser trailer they gave for the series had this blinker, you'll miss it, freeze frame moment where they showed that. That's Ned's older brother, Brandon, being strangled, and we do not know who played that guy. He's uncredited. And an actor named Liam Burke was actually cast as the Mad King. Didn't ultimately play him in the main show, and he's out of focus, but there's clearly some guy with this crazy long white hair sitting on the Iron Throne. So they filmed that flashback, and I'm reasonably sure that they probably would have inserted it around or near when Jaime and Ned are talking about the Mad King. Now, that would have been nice to see, but a big thing with Benioff is he keeps saying flashbacks are stupid, and then, like, in one of his commentaries for his movie 25th Hour, he admits, oh yeah, I don't like flashbacks because I'm actually bad at them, that they confuse me, and in the same commentary he'll say, I never read a screenwriting manual because they frustrate me. Well, maybe the manual would give you tips on writing flashbacks, you idiot. He gives out this long speech about, how do we know this is a flashback in 25th Hour? I don't know. He's reinventing the wheel. Basic problems that he really could not address. And, well, ultimately I went, well, he'll have a beard in one scene, and the other one will be months later when he shaves it, so we know it's in 2 time periods. You should not be investing this much worry into what's a basic problem. You should know how to do that. So just that there were flashbacks that they were bad at handling, so they cut them out and integrating into the TV show. And we know this was filmed. So just the combined effect of going through all this, you got, and not just me, other people reading it go, this looks like it was made by someone who does not know how screenwriting exposition works. So for the unaired pilot, the exposition, basic exposition, was so awful that they had to beg HBO for a redo. That this wasn't, just we have to tweak some dialogue here or there to say Cersei is Jaime's sister. These were fundamental problems with the core structure of the script itself, well beyond just dialogue. Opening with showing Jon Arryn dying in this really long and convoluted scene before we've introduced Winterfell or Ned Stark, so wait, why do we care about this? Or the long scene of Cersei walking around with a feather, it's weird when you read through it. The online version of the script, check it out. You go, just rewriting the dialogue wouldn't fix this, and even then you'd have to refilm so many scenes of dialogue. Now, I talked at the beginning how they got that second chance, how they got the redo. Now, what are the repercussions of that?